Euromaxx highlights, coming up on the show. Trying out, a closer look at this year's favorites at the Eurovision Song Contest. Branching out, the Centre Pompidou in Paris opens its first branch in Metz. Stepping out, an overview of the latest in garden furniture for an enjoyable time outdoors. Euromaxx highlights, and here's your host, Karen Helmstedt.
Hello there, and a warm welcome to our Highlights edition. And with just 2 weeks to go until the Eurovision Song Contest 2010, it's time to see how the competition is shaping up, happening this time in the Norwegian capital, Oslo. Europe's favourite television event will feature musical acts from 39 countries. And while Germany doesn't really have a stellar history at this event, hopes are indeed very high that that might just change with Lena Meyer-Landrut from Hanover, who went from being a simple schoolgirl to a superstar overnight.
During the talent search for Germany's entry in the Eurovision Song Contest, Lena Meyer-Landrut was already the people's favourite. 3 of her songs have already made it to the top 5 on the German singles charts. But Lena's careful not to get carried away.
I really want it. And when they see that, it won't be so bad.
Berlin radio show host Jürgen Jürgens is more than confident about her talent. He spent years covering the Eurovision Song Contest for his listeners.
Finally, something different. She did it. 3 minutes was all the time she needed to take us to another world, her somewhat strange and happy world. And that makes you say, I haven't seen something like this in a long time, if ever. And that's why I'm calling in. That's what I'm hoping.
But she's facing some stiff competition. Only 24 finalists from 39 countries will make it to the last round, and one of them, Safura from Azerbaijan, is getting a lot of attention. For weeks, bookies had Lena as one of the frontrunners in the competition. Now Safura has stolen the spotlight with her song Drip Drop.
Safura is a sweet, exotic young woman just 17 years old with a great voice. She sat with me live in the studio and proved she can really sing. It's a beautiful pop number and a pretty dangerous competition.
Armenia's Yeva Rivas is another favorite. The former beauty queen performed the song Apricot Stone.
It's a bit like Safura's, a mid-tempo number. She's also a woman who looks terrific, has a good presence, can really sell it and sing fantastically. That's probably a trend we'll see more and more in the modern Eurovision Song Contest. But because so many people are doing the very same thing, it'll get a bit risky.
Most countries have traded in stereotypical folk music fare for mainstream pop music with a catchy melody. But this year's contest does include a number of slower songs, from entrants like Israel and Norway. These sentimental ballads are markedly different from the upbeat song performed by last year's winner, Alexander Rybak from Norway.
Even though it hurts, 'cause I don't care if I lose my mind.
He's radiated so much charm, this sunny boy, and he's had so much fun playing that violin. And his number was really catchy. It got stuck in your head immediately. I thought it was really fun. And I wasn't the only one. He's somebody whose upbeat song and charm won him a point or two from every country. And in the end, that's an important part of the tally.
Rybak won a total of 387 points, a new record. But Germany's been on a losing streak that's lasted for years, with Roger Cicero placing 19th in 2007. No Angels received the second lowest score in 2008. And last year, the German act Alex Swings Oscar Sings placed 20th.
This year, I'll take my place at the microphone, my chest filled with pride, and I'll say, I'm behind this one, and I don't think we'll do poorly. I think Lena's chances are very good, and I think we'll win.
The German contestant herself takes the media frenzy in her stride, even here in her native Hanover.
If I had a crystal ball, I could see what happens. But I don't, so I'll wait.
And until May the 29th, the rest of Europe will have to wait with her. But 2010 could very well be Germany's big year, if Lena sings her way to victory in Oslo.
Well, the Centre Pompidou in Paris is one of France's premier cultural institutions for modern art, and as such, it has the luxury of owning one of Europe's largest collections, in fact, far more than it could ever hope to exhibit, which is just one of the reasons that it has opened a spectacular new branch in the northeastern city of Metz. Now, the hope there is to lure more tourists to the struggling French region of Lorraine, much as the branch of the Guggenheim Museum did for the Spanish city of Bilbao. Well, Euromaxx was in Metz for some first impressions.
Wednesday morning in Metz. Even before the Centre Pompidou opened, it had attracted thousands of visitors from all over the world.
Apart from the building, I don't know what works they'll be showing. I want to see what it looks like inside, the works and the interior architecture.
Our Sydney Opera House is a beautiful building, and this, we hope, will have the same impact on the community and attract people. It is very futuristic. It's very good.
I'm not really that interested in modern art, I can't say that. But it is interesting to see so many different people coming together to develop some understanding of it.
And then finally the line begins to move and the gates open. Masterpieces of modern art on view in very special surroundings.
Absolutely beautiful. It's very original, totally unusual architecture. As someone who lives here in Metz, I'm very happy to see it.
The Centre Pompidou Metz, like its big sister in Paris, is conspicuous already due to its appearance. The building was designed by the renowned architect duo Shigeru Ben and Jean de Gastine.
We didn't want any boundaries here between the public and the private side. This is a very open building.
Light floods in from all sides, not least thanks to a technically demanding roof construction, a puzzle with 16,000 pieces. The fiberglass membrane was imported from Japan. The wood was processed in Germany. The building cost more than 70 million euros. These historical masterpieces are juxtaposed with modernism. More than 750 works are on display here, most of them from the Paris Pompidou collection. The challenge of putting art in entirely new rooms was what attracted the internationally renowned curator Laurent Lebon.
The Centre Pompidou Metz is a bit like a laboratory for trying out new forms of exhibiting, in the spirit of the Centre Pompidou Paris. A place that's flexible and open, permitting various accesses to art. It's a bit revolutionary. Here, Le Bon can set off masterpieces of modernism in a new way. Picasso,
Magritte, Giacometti, they're all here.
We wanted an exhibition that is open and spacious. This is not a didactic exhibition, but an exhibition for everyone. The exhibition also presents the colourful, the sensational, and not just the well-established modern artists. The opening exhibition's stated theme poses the question, what is a masterpiece, and who makes that determination? I think the answer can be found in the main exhibition room, hanging in the form of a mirror. Ultimately, it is the visitor who has the answer to this question.
That means there will be many different answers, because museum directors expect 200,000 or 300,000 visitors per year. Many who came to the opening are already planning on coming back.
You can sit down. There are lots of restful spots. That's good. It lets you feel comfortable, even in a museum.
My first impression is that it's even better than I had dreamed. It's magnificent.
It's really perfect. It's a great thing. It's super.
And even if the works of art currently on show are part of a rotating exhibition, one masterpiece will remain: the building itself.
Well, even though the weather of late has been less than desirable for the time of year, garden furniture is currently of the essence, as many Germans are hauling out their deck chairs in anticipation of some summer R&R. Well, for anyone needing a change, upmarket garden furniture has long since left behind the classic plastic deck set with umbrella. And in fact, more and more gardens and balconies are now resembling outdoor rooms. And here's why.
The designers of modern garden furniture are drawing their inspiration from living room furnishings and from nature itself. Sunscreens may be translucent, reminiscent of petals or clouds. What looks at first glance to be a group of stones turns out to be a sofa, which, thanks to its neoprene covering, is waterproof. There are also day beds for daydreamers, another top trend in garden furniture for summer 2010. Interior designer Katharina Zemling says the division between furniture for inside and furniture for outdoors is gradually disappearing. Increasingly, living room designs can now be seen in the backyard.
In the coming years, using a mix of materials will become the norm. As we see here, for example, wood and stainless steel, with a woven fabric backrest using high-tech fibers. It looks very light, and the material is also very light. The only heavy thing here is the solid teak wood. But even that is used in such a way that the furniture looks and feels very light and modern.
These days, the design standards for garden furniture are as stringent as for interior furnishings. Plastic or untreated wood are rarely used, and glass and stainless steel have become increasingly popular. You can now even get bar stools and tables for the garden. The upholstery is made of waterproof, non-fading materials, so tables and chairs can remain outside all year. Classic designs are being reinvented, like this garden bench made of teak.
The bench is ergonomically shaped, and that really makes a difference. It's incredibly comfortable and also feels very nice. It's really pleasant to touch and has been very well finished. It's just very comfortable and pleasant.
Aside from the quality and an attractive design, garden furniture needs above all to be durable. The German company Dedon in Lüneburg has developed a synthetic fiber for woven furniture that weathers well and is easy to clean. For more than 10 years, the company has been designing exclusive outdoor furniture. Light, bright, and classy. This year's garden furniture is all about relaxation. Sunscreens in rich colors replace bulky parasols. And sun loungers are simple, without any extra padding. All we need now is a long, warm summer to make the most of it.
Well, that might just be the understatement of the week. Well, while we're on the subject of design, our next report is testimony to the value of preserving the old to make something new. Because what was once a dark, colossal, graffiti-covered World War II bunker in the city of Cologne has been transformed into a designer's dream and, amazingly, into a bright, modern housing complex. And thanks to cabinet maker Christopher Merkel, we got a look inside one of the units.
This striking apartment block is located on the outskirts of the Nippes district in Cologne. All gleaming white walls and generous windows. It contains 17 luxury apartments, and it's hard to imagine that it was actually once a bunker. Nowadays, it's home to Christopher Merkel.
Welcome, please come in.
Merkel moved into one of the 6 townhouses in the refurbished bunker in 2005. His apartment boasts 150 square meters of space, distributed over 2 floors. The minute he heard about the project, he was drawn to the idea of living in a converted bunker.
What I liked in particular was the extraordinary history of this place. There are quite a few people who appreciate what's exciting about living in a bunker. Others say it's something they'd never do. Personally, I love the idea.
Mich persönlich hat's eher begeistert.
The above-ground bunker was one of 6,000 shelters built in Germany during the Second World War. Afterwards, it fell into disrepair. Half a century later, it was discovered by a building contractor who had it converted. Today, these spick-and-span townhouses bear few traces of the past. Flooded with light, they couldn't be more different from the gloomy bunker that once stood here. Another source of light is the atrium.
What makes this place special is light comes from above and the front. And the gallery spans both floors, so both floors get lots of light. This is my favorite spot, as you can see from the indentation in the sofa. My cleaning lady always complains she can't get it out.
The bunker first had to be gutted, stripping it of 5,000 tons of concrete. Diamond drills were used to carve out windows in the walls, which are up to almost 2.5 meters thick. The past has been largely banished from the building, but architect Thomas Luczak wanted to preserve the original structure, combining it with an ultra-modern feel.
We tried to strike a balance between retaining the solid, hermetic character of the building, where the joints between the slabs of concrete are still visible, and the building's new peaceful purpose with a special atmosphere.
Contributing to this is the interior design. All robust natural materials, such as wood, that give the rooms a sense of warmth. Christopher Merkel is a cabinet maker and designed much of the furniture himself.
Having a creative outlet means a lot to me. And of course, no one wants to live in a concrete box. So what I wanted to do with the furniture, flooring, and lighting was make it more cozy.
Eine gewisse Wohnlichkeit hier reinzukriegen.
The apartment's big eye-catcher is the wood-panelled bathroom. Its oak doors open onto the gallery. Merkel often forgets that his home used to be a World War II bunker.
After a few years here, I no longer come in and think, wow, a bunker. I live here, and now it just feels like home. But sure, when visitors come for the first time, the subject always comes up, and I'm reminded of what it used to be.
Now revamped, this once gloomy relic of the past has stepped out of the shadow of history.
Well, he certainly wrote rock and roll history in this country, and today Germany's Udo Lindenberg is a veritable rock icon. Ever since the Beatles split up back in 1970, he's been turning out his inimitable style of rock music, and with great success. As a producer, he started his own foundation to help young musicians, and he's always looking for new avenues to explore, which is one reason he's just finished his first rock cruise from Hamburg to Dover and back with his Panic Orchestra, and he brought along a few guest stars and, of course, a huge following of fans.
German rock musician Udo Lindenberg and hip-hop soul singer Jan Delay are giving a joint performance. It's the high point of the Rockliner Tour, a concert tour on a cruise ship. Udo Lindenberg arrived at Hamburg Harbour 4 days ago. Waiting for him at the quayside, a floating stage. The ship, Tui Mein Schiff, is to take him to England and back. 50 of his musician friends have joined him for the trip. Top names like Nina Hagen and Jan Delay.
It's a dream come true. I've thought of doing this for a long time, but it took a while until it was all sorted out. I'm looking forward to meeting all these experts, and to this big concert with my Panic Band and with Nina and Jan.
After all the preparations, it's time to cast off. 30 tons of show equipment have been taken on board to make the show possible. The ship is also carrying 2,000 Lindenberg fans, including some hardcore fans who've taken the musician's lifestyle to heart. Some have adopted his style of talking. And others fancy themselves as singers. A sea voyage with Udo Lindenberg isn't just a special event for the fans. The singer Nina Hagen says the Rockliner Tour is really something out of the ordinary.
Udo always brings you somewhere different to check out new places. He's always stayed young, stayed beautiful. Wow.
Wow.
The Rockliner left Hamburg Harbour on schedule on its outward journey to Dover. An unexpected treat for the passengers, this impromptu gig on deck. Tickets for the Rockliner Tour sold out in 3 days. Apart from the numerous performances and concerts, the tour takes passengers to places in London where music history was written. The trip cost around €600 in all, a very reasonable price. That was another central concept of the Rockliner idea. Lindenberg took his time deciding which ship to book. His criteria for deciding were exact.
This is a big ship with a fantastic theater and a lot of lounges and corners and bars and stages and so on. We can really work magic here. It has some quiet corners too, where people can chill a bit, get to know each other and so on. Then we sail off to Dover. Buses take us to London, to Abbey Road, the Beatles studio. We've got a beat club and beat club classics. There's a full program.
Lindenberg really hit a nerve with his fans.
We've been to a lot of concerts, but the Rockliner is something special. It's a real experience which won't come around again too quickly. We're on a ship, we watch Udo's band a few times, the fans are with other fans, 2,000 people, it's fantastic. Great service, great atmosphere.
And above all, great music. And for all the fans who missed the boat this time, Lindenberg is due to sail off again on a Rockliner cruise in September, when he'll be heading for Copenhagen.
And someday to the moon. Well, just a reminder that you can find our highlights reports on YouTube. And with that, it's time for me to sign off. So until next time, bye-bye.